shout out to A Righteous Perspective, which is a YouTube channel. You guys can check him out. He's got a lot of content. I'm actually going on his show tomorrow morning, so you can check me out on A Righteous Perspective. I'll be on the panel. Shout out to Wise for inviting me. Thank you so much. But I saw him covering this topic today, and so I wanted to bring this to your attention. And it says, former clerk says illegal immigrants paid $200 under the table for Kentucky driver's licenses. I know I'm a little bit small right now, so let me blow me up so you guys can see my reaction. Hold up one second. Okay, now you should be able to see my reaction. This is insanity. And what you're about to find out in the story is even crazier. Let's go ahead and watch it.
The state didn't want this out. Fraud inside Kentucky's transportation cabinet. Licenses issued without a driver's test.
It is an ongoing WDRB investigation, and tonight we hear from a whistleblower who says coworkers used her login to pull off this scheme.
Employees were being paid underneath the table.
They say sometimes
I immediately let my supervisor know about it.
truth hurts.
Did you ever think that this would cost you your job?
No,
And for Melissa Mormon,
I was angry for a long time.
this is one of those.
It hurts me that I'm talking about this, and I actually like where I was working at.
Times.
I came into the office that day, my computer was shut down, I was told to go to the front door. Detectives came in, they interviewed me, that was it.
Mormon says she was fired 3 months after she sent this letter.
So this letter says, I was approached by an outside source to go into a business venture that would take place at KYTC DDL office. Someone will have birth certificates, social security cards, statements, and bills that are made to look legitimate. They will come into the office with a fast pass and go straight to the individual desk without being checked in. Would set up as normal, issue the customer and scan documents as normal. They would pay you directly for the transaction as normal. However, additional payment will be made to the individual for the service. Melissa then goes on to write here, I refused the offer for the business venture. I was advised not a good idea after several inquiries to make a decision. My 3200 was being used as part of the business venture at several locations, even when not in the office or not at my station to issue. Another source has approached me recently and asked if I was still interested in this business venture, and advised was not interested, mentioning 2 employees at the NIA were recently let go under a similar suspicion. So you mean to tell me that Melissa came forward and she said she was approached by a what does she call it? A outside source to go into a business venture, and which we know what the business venture was about. It was about illegal immigrants paying $200 to get a driver's license when they are not an American citizen. That is illegal. That's double illegal. You're already over here illegally, and then you mean to tell me that you're going to pay somebody to get a driver's license so you can break the law and put people's lives in danger? And you've got American citizens who are on board with this, who are taking the $200? And as Wise said, which was kind of a funny comment, he was saying, which if you don't know who Wise is, he's on A Righteous Perspective, a whole nother channel. I'll be on there. Actually, I guess tomorrow I'll be on the panel, which should be awesome. And I'm looking forward to meeting Wise. But he was mentioning, he was like, $200 is kind of low. you know? And so I was like, interesting, that is a low price, but still, nobody should be doing that to begin with because it is a safety issue. But this is just like the same situation that happened in the other case that we just talked about. You have individuals who are making decisions that infect everybody else because of their micro selfishness. They are focused on their individual life, their individual needs, their individual happiness, and they're not thinking about how it could affect anyone else. Now, we just saw in the other story that 3 individuals, 3 people lost their life. And we know that life is precious and it is a gift. And to think that these 3 people lost their life because of negligence that could have been avoided, it is heartbreaking. And each and every one of us should be concerned, and I believe that each and every one of us should want law and order moving forward. If you were a person who was like, you know what, I don't know if I'm interested in law and order, you should be now. Because what if that was your family member? What if that was your classmate? What if that was someone that you loved? And their life was taken just like that, and it could have been avoided. Let me see what else she's kind of talking about here.
Kentucky Transportation Cabinet blowing the whistle that workers at the Nia Center like.
I don't want to get copyrighted. And I don't know if this will, if I'll get copyrighted because there's music here, but I think other people have played this video, so maybe we're okay.
First reporting on the driver's license fraud investigation in April after getting my hands on one of the state's revocation letters. We learned the Transportation Cabinet sent more than 1,500 of them in 5 months, telling drivers their license was issued in error and must be returned or they could be criminally charged. At the time, state officials confirmed at least 2 terminations, and ongoing state and federal investigations focused on the Nia Center in West Louisville and the E-Town license branch. But they denied all of our records requests, withholding 2,300 documents on the fraud. Mormon's story fills in the blanks.
I found out it may have been going on for a couple of years before it was found out.
We're told it wasn't as simple as people getting state-issued driver's license or permits without taking a test. She says 2 of her colleagues at the Nia Center approached her with a business venture, asking if she wanted to get in on the scheme.
I was asked to bring certain customers in, and they are brought in to me without signing in. And you would scan their documents as usual.
Documents made to look legitimate, like birth certificates and social security cards, according to...
So you mean to tell me that this lady was fired because she did the right thing? That's not justice. And that's not right. So I hope that her video reaches the right person, the right people who can get her job back or get her compensated in some way, because that is absolutely ridiculous. She actually did the right thing by coming forward and saying, hey, this is what's happening. And I'm glad that she did that, because we don't want more and more illegal immigrants on the road who have no business being on the road, who can actually put somebody in danger. I had a friend just about 2 years ago, she got hit by an illegal immigrant. And of course, they didn't have insurance. So thankfully she had insurance, so her insurance was able to cover it. I don't know if she had to pay the deductible or not, but she was in a situation like that. And as someone else was talking about, if that happens, maybe the state needs to start taking on the consequences of it, because you have people within the state government who have been issuing these illegal driver's licenses.
She wrote to the state, but a key to pulling off this scheme was making sure the required Homeland Security screening was never run.
I start getting these emails saying, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this?
And that's where it unraveled. She says those workers were using her login, a password she says her bosses made her share, as all workers at the driver's license branch did not have their own. And Mormon was
That's
trained
terrible.
to be a supervisor.
I'm not even at my desk because I'm doing various duties, or I'm not there for the day. So, things start kind of coming together. I'm like, what's going on?
Was it always undocumented workers?
Yes,
Every time?
every time.
It does not surprise me.
Adrian Trivedi helps people trying to obtain legal status, an immigration attorney for 14 years.
For those immigrants that don't have a pathway to obtain legal status, having a driver's license could mean the difference between getting home from work safely to their children, to their wives or husbands, and not for a relatively...
They should worry about that in their own country, though. And that's the thing, is when you're already breaking the law to be here and then you're adding to it, it just makes your situation even more worse. Go through the legal process to become an American citizen. And I know it's not an easy process, but it is the easiest process in the world compared to all of the other immigration processes. So wait your time in line, and go through the process. You don't have any sort of right to be here illegally. You don't. Just like I don't feel like I have a right to be in Russia illegally. Just like I don't feel like I have the right to be in France illegally. Or Zimbabwe illegally. Or name any other country. I don't believe that I have a right to be there illegally. I need to make sure that if I go to another country, I'm going through the proper channels to get there. It's like when I lived abroad in London for a little bit, because I studied abroad there. I had to have a passport. I had to make sure that I was going through the proper channels to make sure that I was doing the right things and that I was handling things in a safe way, not only just for myself, but for the people of the UK.
Price to be able to have that chance of avoiding deportation, even just for that day, they're willing to take it.
To Mormon, this license scheme exploited people.
So I didn't want no parts of it.
Mormon says she wrote this letter with her boss on October 29th, and she spoke to detectives 3 months later. She was fired the same day.
Wow.
Gut punch, yes. Very hard gut punch.
She was 2 years and 3 months onto the job. But she didn't technically work for the state. Mormon was a contractor for Quantum, a staffing agency that Kentucky hired to help fill positions in driver's license branches when they took licensing away from the county clerks.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Mr. Van Staten, this is Gilbert Corsi from WDRB News. The Michigan-based company did not return our calls or emails. They hung up.
It's shocking. Why would an employer punish
Just terrible
and take retribution on an employee that reported this wrongdoing?
Mormon story. Now the heart of a whistleblower lawsuit going after both the Kentucky
That's
Transportation
good.
Cabinet
She should be a hero.
and Quantum
She should be.
Solutions.
There's a failure to supervise these employees. There were obviously no checks and balances.
Kentucky State Police is on it. There are serious concerns, and we'll hold anybody accountable if they violated the law.
That's basically all Governor Andy Beshear would say as we pressed on this case in April. But there was a part of our interview that didn't make our prior report, and it may be important now.
Is there an immigration component to this?
Not that I'm aware of.
WDRB is fighting in court for the paper trail to be made public.
That is just crazy to me. The fact that the lady who did the right thing, this woman came forward and she said, hey, people are breaking the law in this office. They are giving illegal immigrants a illegitimate driver's license when they don't have any business doing that. And I don't want to be a part of it. And the fact that she is going through this, it just goes to show that we are living in an upside down world, that a lot of people in this country have lost their minds. Let's just be honest. And we have to pray and make sure that we're doing our part. When you have an opportunity to vote, when you have the opportunity to make a difference, you want to be doing that. because you could actually be saving somebody's life. It's that serious. Okay? So anyways, I wanted to spend some time answering